Hi, Michael. I am inviting you. This is, by the way, the first of 4 messages I'm going to send you in short order. Um, and I'm inviting you to participate in a group I'm calling the 10. These are 10 people that I have selected. I will show you the list. There they are. And of course, your name is amongst the list there. And the question is, you may be asking yourself, okay, what is this and why me? Well, why you is you are famous or semi-famous. You're obviously intelligent and educated, and you've often expressed the interest in acting for the greater good. And I think that we need a team of people with those traits to help us cross a chasm from where we are today and where we need to be. Okay? So today we have these 2 political parties, and there's, all of the hate and discontent and all the fighting amongst all this stuff, and it's all about these people who, seek wealth, influence, and power, and these candidates that they, bring forth, also seeking wealth, influence, and power. In fact, people who, at least some portion of their personalities, they would be king. Okay, and I know this to be fact because there's no way that people would go through, raising hundreds of millions of dollars and riding around on buses for days on end and eating all those fried foods at the Iowa State Fair and on and on and on. They wouldn't go through all that if they just wanted to serve. If they were normal people, they wouldn't want or need any of that adulation and all that stuff that goes along with running for Senate or president or whatever. Okay, and so what am I talking about? Well, these, you and other people like you share the same traits that the revolutionaries shared back in the day. So back in the mid to late 1700s in this country, people with similar attributes to you, met in small groups, and they talked about treason against the King of England and trying to get underneath, away from the tyranny of governance by the country of England. Okay, and they, made these game-changing changes, and they went, they had the perseverance, they had the will to try to do this and make those changes. And by the way, I'm not talking about treason and that I want to throw away our system of government or anything like that. Quite the opposite. In fact, I would argue that Mr. Trump is an acid test of the structure of our government. Okay? And this person, we put one of the worst people that you could possibly put into this structure, in probably, I think most people would argue, the most important position in the government, and yet here we are. We're still here. We still persevere. Now, I would argue, and a lot of people would argue, I think you would argue, things are not as good as they were a few years ago, but we're still here, and most things haven't changed all that much. And that's a good thing. That is a testament to the structure. So the structure, I argue, is very sound, the structure itself. The problem is the candidates, Trump and other people, other senators and representatives that end up in this structure. They're the ones that are failing us. And what's failing us is we have this terrible system by which we identify and elect candidates to fill the structure. That's the problem. The problem is the candidates and the methodologies that we use to identify and elect them to positions in the structure. So the 10, I'm hoping, will have sufficient fame and fortune and influence to try to cross the chasm from where we are today and where we've been in the past to a future state where we could be. Now, I'm a guy in Hudson, Wisconsin, and nobody knows me. Well, how do I try to bring attention to this? How do I try to get people to at least start thinking about this, fairly massive change in the way that we do things? So, in order to try to draw attention to it, and also for my own edification, I went through and I submitted myself for a candidacy for the President of the United States. Okay, I filed with the Federal Election Commission and all that stuff, and I've done all those things. And I'm, officially offering to serve as President of the United States. I'm offering to serve as one of the new candidates, a person of integrity and intelligence, and just a true innate desire to serve, just serve, not myself. I don't care. I don't give a damn about the trappings of the office and wealth and all that stuff. No. But so this is the thing. How do you go from where we are with this? Really, it's pretty clear to me now. Looking at it now for a period of time, this is a horrific state we're in. So how do we go from where we are to a much better place in the future? How do we cross the chasm? Well, just like back in the 1700s, we need some leaders to help us do that. A core of people that will step by step help the public understand and move forward in a new direction. Well, you saw the list of the 10. Okay, you obviously know yourself. You know the names on that list. You probably, maybe you've met many of them. I don't know. But you don't know me. So the second message and associated video is about me. So who am I? And so I feel a little bit ashamed. I mean, you're Michael Moore, so yeah, I am not a director. I am not a filmmaker. But I made a video that tells, I think, probably one of the most important stories in my life. And by telling that story, I think it tells people like you who I am more quickly and more efficiently than just about anything else I could do. So the video is around about 30 minutes long, and it may start out a little bit slow, and I apologize for that. And it's not a professional video. It's just me talking to the camera and telling my story. But I would ask you to hang on and to watch all the way through to the last 30 minutes. And I warn you, I give you fair warning that if you're the person that I think you are, you're probably going to be shedding some tears toward the end of that video. And then the third and fourth videos that and messages and associated videos that I will be sending through to you, this is the proposed straw man construction of not how we change the government, but how we change the election system, where we inject high quality candidates into that structure. And there's several videos. Well, there's, I think, a total of 3 videos in those associated with those messages that I hope will embellish the concept so that maybe answer, I'm hoping, a lot of your questions. And so in the end, I hope that you will participate in the 10. And I would be honored, I'll have the honor and privilege of meeting and working with you one day and trying to move the country forward from this place where we are to a much better place in the future. Until that day, I hope, I wish you all the best.